Okay, good afternoon everyone. In this section we're going to go ahead and show you how to install the new alternator. So just want to show you a couple things on this alternator. If you can see there, it's actually a single pulley. Some of them, if you've got a serpentine belt connection, actually you'll notice it has a double pulley. This part of the alternator, it's a side terminal, and in the middle there is where the plug goes. In the upper left with the red plastic spacer is our terminal plug, and then the third and final plug at the bottom left would have been our ground plug. We actually have a separate ground due to our regulator. So again, it's just going to be 3 bolts. We've got our through bolt that we'll install, we'll connect on. And again, it's all housed right here. Here's our adjusting arm, and with the adjusting arm, we'll have the adjusting bolt. You can tell the difference. It's got the square piece on it. And then, last but not least, we'll hook up our plug and our terminal bolt. Okay, now we've got the alternator preliminarily installed. We've got the through bolt connected. It's not cinched all the way down. In other words, we wouldn't be able to get it into our desired position down here. But one thing you might even be able to see is you can still see the placement where my old bolt was. So I'm going to use that as my initial indicator, and then I'll go ahead and show you what it looks like when we make sure that the belt pulleys are tight enough. Okay, here we've got our alternator adjusting bolt on. Again, same with the through bolt. They're tightened down just enough where we can still position the alternator. It's loose enough where here we have the belt. You can see which pulley it's on, and we're just going to go ahead and lift it on up. There you go. So from here, we're going to go ahead and keep upward pressure on the bottom of the alternator, because we want no more than a 1/2 inch of flex. And right now we can actually go further than that. Okay, so a little bit tighter than this. We'll go ahead and once we keep that pressure on, get it to our desired tension, we will tighten up the adjusting arm, then the through bolt, back and forth, and just double check and make sure they're at the right torque. Now that that's in, you can go ahead and, okay, I'm giving it some nice sufficient pressure. It's going down almost 1/2 inch, not quite, so we're in the right range. We're going to go ahead and install our plug, which we've got sitting, plug and terminal connector. It's sitting right here. Go ahead and clean those up just a bit, and then we'll go ahead and take our terminal connector, connect it here. Okay, the terminal bolt is connected here, as well as the plug. What we went ahead and did is just took a little wire brush. So if you've got a wire brush at home, we just went ahead and scored the terminal connector, as well as cleaned off the plug connecting ends. We're going to go ahead and give it just a little fresh wrap of electrical tape, just to kind of cover up some of those wires, clean it up a bit. We've got one little screw on the fender wall, hose stabilizer. We'll screw that down, and last but not least, we'll connect the battery. Okay, we've got the alternator installed, and we've got the battery here. One of the things we want to do is we're going to want to do some troubleshooting as well. And this isn't, required most likely for most of you. It's just going to start right up. But if you have a voltmeter or a multimeter, or if you don't have one, I suggest you getting one. They're actually really pretty simple to use, and I got this one for 35 bucks at Fry's Electronics. So you can get one there, AutoZone, O'Reilly, Harbor Freight probably. It's a multimeter, so it's got a lot of different electronical diagnosis tools held within. So go ahead and I'm going to show you this reading. I'm just going to go ahead and test the battery. I want to see, first off, that our battery is sufficient. When the alternator went out, it did zap the battery. We went ahead and charged the battery. We want to go ahead and see what kind of reading we get. Okay, so yeah, that's at about 12.9. That means we're definitely sufficient to go ahead and fire up this battery. Okay.